Audio.etc. is proudly supported by Auto Sound and Security. I just had to film the inside of the door on this Jeep Grand Cherokee because it's just kind of funny but also confusing. So this is a, what is it? A 2005 Jeep Grand Cherokee, and his front woofers have been vibrating or making a sound of the membrane or the surround being blown. First of all, what's up with the sound deadening? Let's put a patch here, I don't know what brand this is. AODF possibly? I don't know. AODEA, there's a different section here. Plain, some of them have the blue writing. They have put some on the speaker, so I suppose that's good, but like seriously, like what's up with the positioning of it? Let's put some on this thing, none on the big flat section, none on the outer skin. It's just really confusing. I don't know, it's weird. But then look at the speaker. So here we've got some kind of plastic baffle adapter, which is maybe meant to go for this car, maybe not. And then on here, this is the factory speaker, but it's not the factory Jeep speaker because like it doesn't fit in any way, shape or form, and they've held it on with these like finger clamp things. It's not even screwed in, it's just sitting there with these finger clamps holding it on. Who on earth did this? Here's the problem with it, let me just show you because this is coming out anyway. You can see in there, surround is totally gone. Oh yeah, that sound. Yeah, we love that sound. But what the hell? Weird as. Unfortunately, all I'm doing is putting in real basic Pioneer coaxial speakers. He did not want to spend money. He's only keeping the car for 6 months. He just wanted to get rid of the rattling sound up the front. So I'm just putting in the cheapest set of speakers we have, which is the Pioneer TSG 1645R. So yeah, I'll see what I can do with this mount. And the factory speaker is a Mitsubishi factory speaker. By the way now guys, I am putting in 6x9s instead. Because when I went out and looked at this car, I looked through the grille and I thought that looks like a 6x9 grille, but I could only see like a 6-inch speaker in there. So I wasn't sure what the situation was. I said, we'll either put 6s or 6x9s in. Fortunately, it turned out that there were just two pieces of this whatever sound deadening just covering the ends of it. So I am going to be able to put some 6x9s in there, which will be better than a set of basic 6 inches. I would have really liked to have put the Alpine 6x9 Type R components in here because there is a tweeter up on top of the dash there. So just focus. It's there. So I did try and quote him for some component speakers, but he really just didn't want to spend money on it. You know, some people are just like that. They don't want to spend, you know, oodles of money, or like, you know, they don't care about quality, but they just wanted to get rid of the rattle, you know. So it's just going to be these old Pioneers. These are the TSA 6965S. One of our last sets of them, and I just checked, they do fit. And it's just going to be extra trebly. But I'm going to redo this wiring because I don't know if I can trust it. I don't know how well it's been done. I'll put my own fly lead on there, I think, because that might have been soldered or it might have been twisted, and then it goes to crimps again, and then it goes to more crimps. So I'm going to redo that. There we go. New loom, soldered on. I did just cut it off because where'd the loom go? Oh, what'd I do? I just cut the loom that was on there off because we didn't need those extra pieces, and the factory speakers are clearly long gone, so we didn't need the factory plugs. So I just put new up-to-date connections on, little fly lead. These ones actually come with the Pioneer speakers. It's really handy, and that'll work for any aftermarket speaker from now on. So, and I put a big ring of foam tape all the way around, gasket tape, you know, just to make sure it's a nice soft connection to the metal. Yeah, chuck the speaker on. There we go, there's one mounted. All good. Sweet as. Simple. Bit dusty, just give it a clean here. And there's the other one done as well. Turns out these speaker wires here are already crossed off somewhere. Either there must be a factory amp somewhere or something, I'm not sure. something else somewhere in the car, because these speakers in the front now are only producing like mid-bass and bass, so I guess that solves the problem of it being overly trebly in the car. But yeah, there we go, easy fix, problem solved. I'm sure the customer would be happy with it. Yeah, as you can see, the door is just as weird. Like, I don't know what the deal with these random bits of sound deadening everywhere are, but that's just kind of why I wanted to show you this, just because like this is the most average sound deadening job I've ever seen. Anyway, on to the next one. Hey guys, how's it going? James here from Audio.etc. Working on duty today. Just got a couple of little things that I want to do to, you know, just things here and there. I'll explain them shortly, but I've already just done a couple of trivial things that you guys didn't really need to see, just to speed up the process a wee bit. But what I'm wanting to do today is reduce a wee bit of reverberations. So this is going to be pretty standard in any car. When you put a big sound system in, there's always going to be certain notes that when the speakers or the subwoofer hits it, somewhere in the car there's going to be a rattle or a vibration sort of sound. And I am noticing that a wee bit with some certain songs, mainly in the doors. There is some rattling coming from them. Even with all the sound deadening and everything I've done, there is still some rattling coming from them, but not as a result of things being loose or, you know, plasticky and hitting. It's more of a case of things vibrating at that resonant frequency and just making a bit of sound. Here comes my coffee. Thank you. So what I am doing is I am, and I've already done some testing and it's actually working quite well. I have downloaded an app onto my phone, just a signal generator app, basically a super cheap free version of their SMD SG1, except this doesn't have an impedance meter on it, so I can't use it for that. But I downloaded this one, which actually works really, really well, and it's free, and it's clean as well, very easy to use, clean sound coming out of it. Some of the other ones that I tried were a bit jumpy and scratchy and stuff, but this one is really, really nice. So I'll show you what I mean. Just turn the key onto, actually I'm going to turn it onto ignition to get rid of the beeping. I've got this, if I change the stereo over to Bluetooth, and it's good because this works over Bluetooth as well. So it should already be playing. If I, oh wait a minute, we're on pink noise. Let's get rid of that. Okay. Now if I start turning the gain on this up, you should be able to hear that. There's a humming coming from there. It's about 630. And it's got all these different steps. I can go like medium, high, super high, low, or sub woofer range. So it has different ranges. And I can just, it works really well. So if I go down to low, whoops, there's a, and there, right about there, in fact, what I need to do, because I'm going to adjust, do each door individually, to listen for rattles in each door. I'm going to start by eliminating rattles from the doors, and then I'm going to close all the doors up and have all the speakers and the subwoofer going and do the frequencies again and listen for rattles throughout the car that I can get rid of. I'm trying to make this car as quiet as I can, and it already is very, very quiet. There's very little road noise, but having that lack of road noise and having the car so quiet on the inside with all the sound editing that I've done, it makes the rattles and vibrations here and there definitely sound more prominent and accentuated. So I'm trying to make this car as super quiet as possible so that the only thing you can hear is the music coming out of the speakers, which so far that's pretty much what it's like, but just a few things I need to do. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. If I quickly, there you go, so I faded it to just for the front right. And I need to turn the subwoofer all the way down so that that's not going. So now, you can hear that already, can't you? There's a bit of a, there's definitely a rattle coming from here, but look, if I touch it. So I think what that rattle is, and this is at 80 Hertz exactly, because it happens right around 80 Hertz there. If I go to sub and go lower, it goes away. Something does start up around about sort of 70 odd Hertz around this area, which I'll tackle later, but at 80 Hertz there is definitely a vibration coming from this here. And I believe it's just this lip. And that's the same on the driver's door and the passenger's door. I have already done some testing before I started shooting the video, but I'm showing you sort of my process here. So I've worked out that there is definitely an 80 hertz rattle or vibration, not a rattle, a reverberation coming from this thing being able to flex. So what I'm hoping is going to work, I'm going to try and put some Rockford Fosgate dead skin, which is essentially just Dynamat, behind there. I'm hoping that's going to work. I've already taken the screws out of the door card so I can remove it, because what I'm going to do, rather than just doing it on the door, because I'm going to check the door with the door card off as well, I'm going to take the door card off and actually remove the back of this pocket off by undoing the screws, and that way I can just apply it straight onto that surface. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I should be able to just, I wonder if I can do this with my hands yet. So I'll fix this one, because this so far is the only rattle I can hear coming from the door, and then I will test the door with the door card off it, and then if that's all good, I'll put the door card back on and see if there are any more rattles coming from anywhere within the door card. Reverberations, because it only happens when music hits certain notes, you know. So if I just want to be careful because I don't want this tweed to fall off. This comes off like that and then forward. There we go. They can just hang there for the time being. Whoops. Let's just unplug this light here since it's easier to do it there. Okay, now this should just lift off. Just because I want the ignition to be off when I unplug this. There we go. Okay, that's the door cut off. Let's just, before I do that door skin, let's listen to this for vibrations. By the way, this is my Dynamat job. If you didn't see the video, go check that out. The outer skin is focal bammed. Let's go back into the signal generator once my phone connects. I might just disconnect this tweeter as well so that it's not hanging around. There we go. There's my tweeter. Why am I not getting any sound? There we go. Oh yeah, see, there we go. Now actually what I'm also going to do is turn my crossovers off on my stereo, because I've got these low pass and I want to try and eliminate any rattle from any frequency. Okay, here we go. Let's start with the low range. Okay, so there shouldn't be much up here, but let's go down. Something right around 125 hertz coming from up here. Oh, I think it's just the window actually. That's just the window vibrating actually. Can't stop that. Ah, this little plug over here is vibrating at about 93 hertz. This whole mechanism vibrates at about 80 hertz as well. Okay, so you guys may not be able to have heard what I was saying, because that would have been a very vibrating. This mechanism just here, well, it's not a mechanism, these plugs, which are just sort of plugged into this floating point here, if you can see that, everything around, this whole actual door mechanism is vibrating at around about 80 hertz. I definitely can't do anything about the door mechanism because I can't get to it, and it's, I mean, yes, there's moving parts, I just can't do anything about it. But what I can do is something about these plugs. I think what I might try is a bit of hot glue maybe, just to stop the plugs moving in their sockets. Unfortunately I can't do much about that. I think I might, because I could use RTV, but that'd be a lot more permanent, and I don't want it to be that permanent. I might just try adding a wee bit of hot glue around these to kind of deaden them up a wee bit. Let it set and then see if that works. There's a bit of fluff on here. Alright, I'll try that. Before I try the hot glue thing, I just went through one of our older boxes of random stuff, and for one, I found a whole bunch of this quite tall foam, which is clearly designed to go on the fronts of speakers, so I'm definitely going to put some of that on, I think. Quite a few of them, but I don't need that, that's Velcro. But I found a bunch of these, which are what appear to be little sections of double-sided butyl. And I'm wondering if I can rip or cut that up and just sort of sectionally place it around these plugs. Might give it a go. I wonder if this rips or if it needs to be cut. What can I do? I've got quite a few of them, so I don't need to worry too much about using it. I feel like I need to, maybe I could just paste one straight over top of that. Let's just try that. Just get one of these things. Stick it straight over top of this. It's kind of like a cross between butyl and 3M adhesive. Let's just try this, see what happens. I haven't got a huge amount of it, I've got 5 of them. Maybe we can cut this one in half. Okay. Let's try this one. Here, try that. Cut half. This one. Just like that. That might work, actually. It peels off. Let's try that, let's see if we still get a buzzing sound from them. Oh, it's worked! Like there's still buzzing over here coming from the actual door hinging the door connection mechanism, but the buzzing around these plugs has definitely stopped. So that's freaking awesome. Oh well, one problem solved. Look at this beast go. Really well. Sweet. So now pretty much the only rattles I can hear are coming from the actual door locking closing mechanism. Doodacky. Okay. Now let's go down in frequency. That thing starts going in. Just making sure none of these sections where I had to cover up holes are vibrating too much. No, they're good, they're all fine. That's sweet. I think I've now deadened this door itself as dead as I can get it. As I keep saying, the only rattling remaining is coming from the mechanism that latches the door to the car, and I can't get into that, and there's moving parts in it, so there's nothing I can do about it, but it'll be hard to hear behind the door code anyway. So I think I've definitely fixed that little issue, but I think the main thing that I've been hearing is definitely the actual door card. So I'm going to try deadening that patch of the door and seeing what it sounds like after that. But also I need to run these wires, these speaker wires, along the factory loom and down to here, and I'll tell you why in a second. Sweet as. Okay, so you know how I said I was going to take the back of the pocket off the door card and do it that way? Yeah, that's not happening. It's plastic welded on as opposed to screwed on like some doors. Some cars, like all these sorts of parts, will be screwed on together, like you can see the screws all the way along here holding certain trims and stuff on. But this one, nope, it's plastic welded. I wonder if I should put the foam stuff on here or on the door. That's quite thin. Oh, that's thin as well, I suppose. Let's have a look at one of these. Let's have a see what these are. How long are these things? Enough to do one speaker? Oh yeah, pretty much. Let's have a look. So ideally, all we want to do is sadly cover up the nice Focal emblem and just lay this all the way along the front of the speaker. I do feel bad about covering up the really nice Focal cast basket sort of made in France emblem and stuff like that, but if this helps the sound get out of the door card and into the car better, Why not? Not quite as good as fast rings, but it'll do the trick. I'm just a wee bit short there. Fear not, I have plenty of these. Are these ones better quality? No, they look the same. Actually, scratch that. Oh, you guys aren't going to be able to see it, but the white ones are longer, which means they'll do the whole speaker, and they look like a bit of foam as well. I'm going to take this one off and use a white one instead, because this looks like it's going to perish after a while anyway. So I'll try one of these ones instead. And I've got 2 sets of them anyway, which is enough to do all 4 speakers. Alright, let's try this again. And it's going to go the whole way around, sweet. There, if possible, thank you. There we go. That should help. Ugly, not as pretty, but maybe it'll help, you never know. Can't hurt, right? This crappy one goes in the bin. Right, so what I need to do is somehow sound in the other side of that. I think I might also put some carpet on here, just to stop this polystyrene squeaking and rattling against the door. I just need like some of this sort of stuff, just to sit on there. This is kind of like polyfill, it's like layered Dacron material. Okay, I found what I'm going to put here. I was going to just do some of this carpet stuff because I figured that would do the job, but I actually managed to find like car underlay stuff, which is really, really fluffy, and we happen to have 2 pieces of it. I can't remember what this was cut out of, but it got cut out of a car for some reason. That will sit there pretty much perfectly. I think I just need to fold that section down there, that section there, and glue it on. I'm just going to use, you know, some contact adhesive. But before I do that, there is something I need to do. So I have mentioned this in videos before, but it's been a while since I actually did anything like this on my car. You guys, if you've been watching for a while with Judy, you'll know I really like my mood lighting. I love LEDs everywhere. I've got them under like the wheel wells, in front of the seats, behind my driver's seats. I've got them in the glove box, in the center console, in the cup holders, everywhere. And part of that whole job, which I kind of put on hold for a while to move on to doing the sound system, was going to be putting some of these dome LEDs in the doors. I've already done one in the passenger's door, but it's not wired up yet. So it's going to be hard to see, but it's really hard to see. Like, I can see it with my eyes, but dang, it's so hard to see with the camera because of the contrast. Sorry, it just won't focus because it's so dark, but right where my finger is, I've got one of these LEDs. And I plan on doing that for all of the doors, having them in the back sections of the cup holders here, like this, facing forward, illuminating that whole sort of bucket area. So before I put this carpety stuff on, I need to put another one of these LEDs in this door, since I haven't done this door yet. Now, how did I work out where to put it on the passenger's side? I wonder if I should take that door cut off first so I know what I'm doing, because I want it to be even. But basically, it's as simple as drilling a hole in the back of here and nutting and bolting it in. Simple. Nothing's wired up yet, but basically, since I've got the door cuts off now, I'd rather do it. And the wires I'm going to use to power them, they're going to be powered off illumination, by the way, so they'll turn on when the lights are on and the car will glow red. I'm going to use the factory speaker wires as my illumination wires, and I've already disconnected them up the front. You'll see I have the trim off the stereo. I've already disconnected them from the output of the stereo since they were still connected, and I'm going to send illumination signal down all 4 of these sets of speaker wires up there, down these wires since they're already run, and then they'll come down here and connect on with some crimps, I believe is what I'll do. Yeah, I'll do that in another video, like show you the wiring up and stuff like that, but I figured since I'm doing it here now, I might as well just show you. By the way guys, I'm mounting an LED in the door pocket here before I put this stuff on. Man, I'm getting a bit warm now. I could probably take my beanie and my hoodie off. Okay, so it looks like here I did a wee bit of sound deadening. I put some RTV around that bit of polystyrene there to stop that squeaking and moving, which I think has worked. So I should do that to this side as well, since I haven't done that. And it looks like I mounted the LED right over top of this little lip of plastic here. So I just need to copy that onto this side. So it goes over top of there and around about the middle of the pocket. Okay, I can do that. I feel like no, I do need to pilot drill. Stab a hole right about, that's about middle. Just like that. Now what size do I need to go up to again? The one, I need to go up to a 10mm hole. There we go. Check this fits through. Yep, that fits. Cool. Check this LED works. Yes, the LED works. I can poke this through from the other side somehow. There we go. Poke that through like that. Cool. Where's the nut? Ah, it's right here. Put that on there. Okay. Stop that from rotating. There we go. That's tight. And now what I'm going to do is actually run this up to the factory loom connection point, because I realized I did that on the other card, which is over there. So at some point I will run this. But first I do need to wrap this all in tester tape like I've done on the other one. There we go. So I got it mounted in there, tightened it up, got the wire all tester taped up, and it's run up and along, escaping out of there, etc. You get the point. This has got some RTV around it to quieten it up, stop it from being able to squeak and move around and stuff like that. Now I'm just going to put this thingamabob, or this one, on it somehow. Just some glue will do the trick, I think. Just breaking out of the Legacy for a wee bit because I have to do a stereo install into this Subaru Forester, but I could not do this job. I could not start doing this without showing you guys. just look. Stereo hole. There's the factory plug. There's another plug. I don't know what that is. Wow. Look at this loom. Seriously. Where is people's... And this is just... Japan. Japan, really? Oh, this is a filter box. Really, Japan? Come on, Japan. And I know it was done in Japan because there's a Japanese head unit. I take Japanese head units out of cars daily. And what's scary is that this is a tidy loom. This is a tidy setup for a car that's come out of Japan. I swear to God, this is nicely done. Not by my standards it's not nicely done, but by standards of cars that I work on every single day that have come straight out of Japan and need new stereo in them, this is tidy. What does that say? Alright, anyway, at least, so I'm going to unplug this Subaru plug, cut the wires about there and solder on the new Pioneer stereo loom, and then it will only be about there to there length. It'll be nice and short. It won't be nearly a meter. Damn shorty. Here's the aerial lead. That's quite long even for factory. I better check that that doesn't go down to like an FM modulator or something. Anyway, I'm going to quickly whip out the stereo, bang out the stereo, get it done, and then be back on the Subi before you guys can say kasplat. Kasplat, the Forester is done and out of here. I told you it would be quick. Back on the Legacy now, back on duty. So I have just pretty much finished the driver's door. We still need to do some more testing to see if there's any more vibrations, but actually, sorry, no, I haven't finished it, but I have finished the back side of it realistically. So this is glued down, good enough to stay there. It doesn't have to be like super glued, but the LED is in, the wire runs up behind this thing, under all these wires, and then around about here you can see all this twisted tester tape. I like twist loomed it to the factory thing. This, by the way, is secure here on a factory clip. In fact, I could probably do it, that's a bit rattly, I could probably do something to fix that. But I used these crimps which we actually took out of that car earlier this morning with that, what was it, what did I take those out of? I did some speakers this morning. Oh, and that, in that Jeep. I use these crimps that were in there because these have rubber boots on them, and I thought, oh, if anything, that's going to do a better job of soundproofing it than our ugly plastic ones. So that's all loomed up, they are soldered on and good to go, and then same at the other end. I chopped off the factory speaker plug, which is here. I can put that with my factory speakers so that if I ever want to put them back in when we sell the car, we can do that. And then, so there's the tweeter wires. I wrapped them up a wee bit more all the way up to the crimps, and I did the same on the tweeter pod. It's wrapped all the way. And here, connected to this main harness, is the focus, the other end of the crimps, and now I'm going to plug in, and they're soldered to the factory door speaker wires, which at some point will receive a positive illumination signal up in that end and power the LED. And I'll show you that eventually one day, but basically, yeah, that's how the wiring is done. So the only thing I need to do now is the main reason I was taking the door off, which was put some kind of deadening on one of the walls of the pocket under here, because I'm pretty sure I'm done behind here. That's good to go. The LED is done. So I need to flip this over now. So I need to put something on the back side of this piece of plastic here underneath, because this is just flapping about and vibrating. So maybe some Rockwood Fosgate dead skin will do the trick. Yeah, wonder if we can see the LED. Nope, it's hidden away. Okay, let's find something to put behind there. So this is Rockwood Fosgate's dead skin. This is what the packaging for it looks like. This is the trunk kit. We've got a couple of these kits in stock. I've never used this stuff before to deaden a car, but it is basically the same stuff as Dynamat. To be honest, it feels like it might be a wee bit thinner than Dynamat, but the reason I chose this over using some spare Dynamat is because it's just completely black. I don't really know if I want that silver stuff. Even though it's going to be really hard to see, I don't want the silver Dynamat logos inside there. So this is just going to be on the back side of this panel here. Behind there, I've already waxed and grease cleaned it with the cloth, so now I'm just going to try and stick this down under there, and hopefully that will stop this from flexing so much. And as I say, I've never used this before, so I don't know how sticky this is, and hopefully it will hold its, just want to trim this a wee bit, make it a wee bit cleaner. Oh no, that's alright, that edge is fine, it's this bit that's the problem. I'm going to put the good edge to the top and see how this goes. Hopefully this will help. If it doesn't, I honestly don't know what I could do to strengthen this this piece here and stop it from vibrating, apart from fill the whole thing in with foam. But that feels alright. Should stick on just fine. Can't see it at all no matter what, like you'd have to get your eye right in here to be able to see it, so I think that's not going to be an issue. Okay, this door is officially done. I can stick it back on the car, test again and see if we still get that reverberation sound. Okay. Oh, and now was I going to do anything with this? I was going to do something with that. I was going to... I'll put some foam tape on it actually. I'm going to stick some of this foam tape stuff on that section where that big harness clips on, hoping that it will just make it a little bit less rattly. But that, I think, will need some hot glue actually. Right there. Just needs... Yeah, let's come here for a second. So this, some of this to begin with, there, like that. But I also need to stop this clip here from rattling. It's hard to see, this clip. Glue gun. There we go. Bit of hot glue, just to stop this black plastic clip from rattling in the white one. There we go. That's on there a lot better this time. And I've got some loop side of the of some Velcro here. I'm just going to stick it on there to stop a little bit of knot going on down here. Just a little bit. I'm going fully OTT with the sound deadening in this door because I want it to be ultra quiet, as you may be able to tell. Now, see if I can show you guys. Just to show you how OTT I'm going. So that is no longer moving and making any sound. And I put that, hard to see because of the darkness, but I put that loop side of the Velcro down under there so that this, if it touches it, because this used to be duct taped down onto here, but I'm not bothering with that. I'm just going to let it sit there in between these two things, but it's between a super soft piece of foam, squishy stuff, and some soft Velcro. So I can't get that to make any noise. There's more down there as well. Better to go OTT than not enough. Oh, and I also put some of that foam edging stuff around the edge of the door card here, because it does have some factory stuff here, but it was missing a section or two, so I put some more around the edge. Alright, let's put this on. Hopefully, for the last time, I'm hoping I'm not going to have to take the door card off almost ever again after I put this on, because the LED is done, it can be wired up. This is all done. I'm hoping this is the last time I'll ever have to have the door card off. Let's give it a go. Okay, let's put this in. Nice. That thing. That thing. Can you see what I do? Isn't that there? And I'll do one is that. Yep. Okay, let's put this on here. I need these tweeter wires to be up high enough to be able to get the tweeter in. I think I might need to plug the tweeter in first, because my tweeter wires are hidden down there a wee bit. Let's just sit that there. Get our tweeter, plug it in. That, now we can put this up and down. Okay. That's the tweeter popped on. Okay, the door is completely popped on, but not screwed on. Let's do the frequency test and see if we still get vibration. This thing needs a vacuum. Okay, wait for the phone to connect. Okay, we got sound. Oh, I think it's fixed it. There's vibration coming from here now, but I bet if I put the screw in, that'll fix that. There we go. It has 100% gotten rid of this thing vibrating. Awesome. Let's go a bit lower. This big section here has got some flex at around about 56 Hertz, right around 50 to 55 Hertz. This section here has got some flexy, vibraty sounds. Just by touching it stops it. Don't know if I can do much more to that. Like I've already, like it's got the big chunk of polystyrene, and it's got that, what do you call it, that piece of carpet there. Well, I think mission success. That's really well. There's still some here and there. I mean, if you generate a frequency through anything, it's going to reverberate at some point. And let's face it, this is a Japanese car. They're built out of plastic and pops and clips and, you know, just generally a wee bit more rattly than European cars. I can accept that. But I think I've made a serious difference by putting the, mainly just by putting the dead skin behind this panel here. It's no longer making that massive rattle. So that's good to know that that can work. Sweet. So, yeah, this door is pretty much done. I'm gonna put it fully back together and move on to the driver's side one. I'm just gonna do that, I'm not gonna film it because you guys have seen everything I've done with this. I'm just gonna complete that one, put it back together, and then we'll move on to the rear doors. Okay, the passenger's door is done as well now. Done that stuff over those clips that were rattling. Done the connections for the light. Everything is wrapped up in tester tape, including the tweeter wires, which are here. I just need to tuck those under there so they stay there. Tweeter wires all wrapped up, everything's good to go. I just did the frequency test on the phone and there is no more rattling coming from the door, so that's sorted. Door card is all done. I did the dead skin on the inside of the pocket there. This is all wired up, ready to go. That is secured. Obviously the light was already done and this stuff is glued on, so this can go back on now. Oh, and I put the foam ring around the woofer as well. Cool. Let's do the vibration test again. Oh, now I remember. I need to put the screw in for the center because last time that rattled. There we go. Let's go down in frequency. That's just the mechanism, which I can't deaden. The back of this has got the dead skin on it. but for some reason the rattle just started up a wee bit for a second there, but then I bent it back out and it stopped. Let's go down. And then, yeah, right around 50 Hertz this panel goes, starts a bit more verby. Now I'm going to call that done, that's a success. Yeah, I think I said this when I did the other one as well, it's impossible to get rid of all of the reverb. But let's face it, I'm not going to be playing any music that puts out tones like that for, 30 seconds on end. So really the only reverberation that's left in the front doors that I pretty much just can't get rid of is in the mechanism for the door latch. I can't get rid of that. And on these big panels here, around about sort of 50 Hertz, they have just a tiny little bit of reverb. But I can't really do much more about those because I've already done what I can, I think. Like, I'm leaving that polystyrene in there because it's, it's an impact protector. But I have stopped it from being able to move and vibrate and squeak by putting RTV around the edge, and I also then put a big piece of thick carpet between it and the door. So that has really shut that up as much as it can be, and yeah, that's about it. That's all the reverberation there is left, and I've gotten rid of pretty much all of it, so I'd say front door success. Realistically, I've gone overkill with it, but the main thing I just needed to stop was these things from rattling around 80 Hertz, which is quite a common note, and I think I've definitely done that. I think it's just because the back of this pocket and the front of the card aren't one solid bit of plastic, they're two, but as I said, I can't take it apart to do anything about that, and possibly the seams are just meeting each other. That might be what it was. But anyway, sweet as. Tweeter. There we go, now she's in. Sweet. Poke that down there. It's clipped on. Good to go. Done. Okay, so that's the front doors done. Let's just do a quick listening test to the frequency inside the car here, with the doors closed, and see if we get anything. Now, hold on, let me switch this back to the front. Fade it to the front center. Okay. Slowly turn the gain up. It's a lot less than what it was, that's for sure. For some reason this tweeter rattles right around 114 Hertz. There we go, I think I fixed it. Damn, they go low, 20 Hertz. Ooh, that's low, that goes. Can't believe these speakers go down to 20 Hertz. You guys probably won't be able to hear it, but man, I don't want to do it for too long. Whoa, is that affecting my voice? Huh. Oh, that's my seatbelt thing rattling. A lot of loose parts. Alright, that'll do. Let's try the main reason I noticed these rattles. On Hotel California, there's a drum right at the beginning, which shows it quite well. Well, problem solved. Yep, that drum beat at the beginning, there was no rattle whatsoever, because that's where all the rattle was happening. It was going dong dong, and they were going viz viz with it. So that solved that problem. Front door's done. Not sure how we're going to go on down the rear doors today. It's 3:30 in the afternoon. I know that doesn't seem like much, but I do have to start. I've got a bit of a mess I need to tidy up, and I don't like leaving it all to the very end of the day. So I think what I'll do is probably call that today's video. Oh, let's just real quick, should we go to the back seats and listen for some reverberation? Let's just do that real quick, it won't take long. If we fade it all the way to the back, and then we go to Bluetooth, in the back here, with the speakers faded to the back, let's play some. When the doors open, it's fine, but when it's closed it rattles the panels beside it. Not as bad as the front ones were. Still some rattle here and there. I keep saying rattle, but I should say reverb. It's just, you know, it's just certain parts of the car hitting their resonant frequency and moving with the music. And these speakers have a lot of power going to them, and it's just getting to the doors. Like, the best situation would really be to have an old car which has metal doors, and you mount the speaker through the door card screwed into the metal of the door, rather than being behind all of these loose plastic bits. But that's just the way it is with these Japanese plastic cars. It'd probably be the same in a European car, to be perfectly honest, because European cars have just as much plastic involved. They have very good clips to hold them in place and make them hard to get off, but they have just as much big surface area of plastic anyway. So I think for my purposes, the back door's actually sounding okay. I don't think I need to do too much more to them. And let's face it, I don't really hear the back speakers as much as I do up the front anyway. And I've been playing frequencies out of these which are pretty much which are lower than what I'm going to be high passing them at anyway. But I just wanted to try and, you know, be overkill with it. But I think I'll leave it there for now, guys, and I'll do more driving with it. And if I'm starting to hear any more rattles that are annoying me, then I'll keep going with this. But I think I've gotten the main rattles, the main sounds that were annoying me, which were those front panels flexing. So I'm gonna call that today's video done for now. So for those LEDs that I've mentioned I'm going to be installing alongside all of the existing ones, you guys know I'm putting them in all of the doors and the other places. I can't remember if I said this in the beginning of the video or not. The other places I'm putting them are one under here facing down to illuminate this area, because at night I'd put my keys there and I can't see anything. One in there. There is already one in the center console in here. It just needs to be wired up. I need to put a new one in the glove box because that one that's in there died. And possibly some other places, I don't know. I might put one in the back of this pocket as well. Lots of stuff I can do. I love LEDs. LEDs are the bomb. So if you want to see those videos coming out in the future, if you haven't already, make sure you have clicked the subscribe button and turned on the notification bell so that when I upload, you are notified. Turn them on. Do it. Do it. This may well be my last video for the week before the weekend, so if that is the case, guys, make sure you all have a really good, enjoyable, fun weekend. I know I am going to. It is both Jess's birthday and our anniversary for dating. This weekend we'll have been dating 5 years. Man, dang, that's a long time. Well, it feels like a long time for me. I'm sure there's some of you guys out there watching who are thinking, fuck man, I've been married 10, 20 plus years. You don't know anything. But it feels like a long time now. And Jess is turning 24 this weekend. Right, well that is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I've just been trying to find, you know, things to do during my day to pump out some videos for you guys, because I want to get as many out there between now and the end of the year. Maybe increases my chances of getting to 10,000 by the end of the year. Share this channel and this video with your friends. If you know anyone who likes car audio, point them my way. You can support my channel by liking my videos on YouTube, asking me questions, liking my Facebook page, Audio.etc, and also supporting me on Patreon. Thank you so much to all my Patreon supporters. And also thank you so much to my newest Patreon supporter, Shane Thompson. Cheers for the support, man. Really, really appreciate it. All the links for those things are in the description in the video below. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Choose to be happy, and I'll catch you in the next video. Kite Ano.